At a press conference on Monday in New York City, it's expected that Canada and Mexico and the U.S. will make a joint bid for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The first time it'll be hosted by 3 host countries, and the first time it will feature the expanded format of 48 teams into 16 groups of 3 and then a knockout round of 32. Big news for Canadian fans, obviously, and the whole 3-country idea, Craig, is something we should get used to given the expanded format.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Confederations hosting the World Cup is something of the future for sure. We've seen disasters of what's happened in Brazil and with the stadium issues there and the money loss and the corruption. South Africa, same thing. And then we've seen some changes in FIFA, and that goes a long way. Victor Montagliani, the Canadian president and vice president of FIFA, CONCACAF, if he wasn't in charge and Jack Warner was in charge, this would never, ever happen. He has a big part to play for Canada as far as moving forward in this, and I think it's a great move and it's a great opportunity for the Canadian national team.
I guess the big question is, will there be automatic berths for the host nations? There's rumblings that won't be the case.
Yeah.
But with the new format, 6.5 CONCACAF berths should be given to teams, which you would think would help Canada, Jimmy. That being said, shouldn't a host nation be given a berth regardless?
Yeah, you'd like to think so. I mean, obviously, being a Canadian, I would love to be able to say, you know what, we're in a World Cup, we're hosting this World Cup, but imagine hosting a World Cup and not being there if we didn't qualify. It'd be an absolute disaster. So hopefully, you know, things go our way, and Victor's done a great job in putting this together, because I'm sure behind the scenes he's done an awful lot to make this happen, which is fantastic for Canadian soccer. If we can host the World Cup, I think this would be absolutely amazing, and then have our national team playing in that World Cup would be tremendous.
The problem, guys, with giving Canada, Mexico, and the United States automatic berths is what happens to the rest of CONCACAF teams, right? They don't deserve that. We kind of got screwed in 1994 with that when the Americans qualified. There was only 1.5 spots available, and obviously you're up against Mexico. We finished second. So if you don't finish in the top 6.5 in qualifying, and you get that many spots, you don't deserve to be there anyway. So they should be able to qualify with that many teams in the competition. The competition, again, when you're looking at 48 teams, that's another thing altogether. I don't like that format, but
it's a lot of teams.
And you can almost assume that the States would have the major games, I would imagine, including the final, of course. But you have to throw a bone to Canada and Mexico too, and put some pretty big teams, you would think, in this region as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, it goes back to Victor Montagliani. He is Canadian, and he's trying to push things in Canada, and he talked about 26 in Canada going alone. So I think he's great. I think it's going to be even throughout the teams. I don't think Canada would get put down in any way, and they'll just have an equal footing as much as anybody else.
We'll find out more details at Monday's press conference at 2 p.m. Eastern.